Hello everyone, today we're going to be making a Season 14 tier list for every support. I'm going to be considering all of these. First I'm going to be making a high elo tier list and then the low elo tier list. Depending on the duration, I think they both will be in the same video. I'm pretty sure I'm not missing anyone that's considerable for support. So yeah, first we have Alistar. In my opinion, Alistar is not winning or losing a lot. Build tank supports are going to still be quite decent. There's nothing that it's really changing for them that's bad. The passives he can use a bunch. Probably the Warden one is going to be better. As an engaged support, he still has a lot of options. I personally consider him a A tier right now. He's going to stay there. Really solid champion. Amumu has slowly disappeared from the support meta, but I still think he is on Season 13 quite good. Season 14, he's using Eventual. I think it's one of his best items. It's considerably a really good item on Amumu specifically because he deals a lot of damage. So some supports that deal a lot of damage naturally are really good with Eventual, especially of course the engaged ones. He will probably still be viable, so I'll put him in B. He'll probably be at the lower end, but I don't think he's that good. I think right now he's good, especially in low elo, but he's decent in high elo too. I don't think he's going to be that good next patch. Anivia, it's not good. Anivia has a lot of problems as a support, so she's really slow. Her range is good, her CC is a bit unreliable, not that much. There are mages that are way more unreliable than her, but overall she gets destroyed in lane, especially on engaged supports. You try to wall the enemy ADC and the engaged support will easily jump on yours and you're dead. You don't have the wall as a build tool and it's not the reliable. In theory she's not the worst, she can rush mandate, she still has options, but I don't think she's good. She will be staying in D, she might be C. Mage support are getting a lot of gold and cheaper items. So yeah, she might be C. I don't recommend her in high elo. In low elo neither, but we're going to talk about that later. Annie. I think Annie is still really good. Also another support that kind of disappeared. I do think she's still viable right now. I think she's viable right now, and I think she's good right now, and I think next patch is not changing that much. Now she can rush rallies, which in theory should be better, but she can also still go enchanter items, she can use mandate, she can use stuff, she can use whatever item. It's very strong as a support. Mind you, especially if item tuning is incorrect, some of these placements will be incorrect too. So for example, in my opinion, mandate in theory is buffed. In theory, mandate is buffed from last patch. From last patch. Might not be, might be terrible. So maybe a super mandate reliant support that we're going to talk about later might be a bit bad, but in theory the item is good. These champions should be at those placements. I think Annie is B, but on the higher end. I think she's good. Actually I'm going to put her in lower A. If you are an enchanter player or a mage player and like Annie, play Annie support. She's really good. She's going to be a weird case, so don't build mandate, please, on her. Mandate is no longer really good with her, and hasn't been for a while. It's going to be even worse next patch, because it's going to be less about spamming the item and it's more about the burst that some other champions will benefit from. It also has more AP, which Ashe support doesn't really care. Lethality though is getting a buff. It's now going to be flat, so really strong for the early game. I think Ashe is currently a B tier, low B tier. It's probably going to be high B. I think she's a prio in pro play. She might be a big Asian pro in pro play, yeah, very likely that she's going to be an S tier support in pro play. So in pro play, different everything. So yeah, but she should be viable. She might be in lower A. We'll see. She also has the thing about Umbral is getting adjusted, but in theory it should be buffed. Since it's not a mythic, it's not losing the mythic stuff but it's getting 300 more expensive, but with 2 more lethality. I think specifically Ashe is kind of neutral, like she doesn't care as much about lethality, she cares, but not as much as the ones I'm going to talk later. So yeah, Bard, to stop confusion, so I'm going to change something, wait a second, there we go. Yeah, I changed Anivia placement because it was kind of weird to have her there. Bard, I think currently it's like an S tier support, an S patch, kind of doesn't change much. Actually, he's losing some power on the... So he's losing some power on, like, if you are blue side, I think it's blue side, yeah. If you're blue side, you're losing, like, the fact that there is a wall and you can, like, E. You can still E, but it's not as valuable. Now, mid lane and top lane, he can roam even better, especially in top lane. So, you know, he's getting that. Items, he's so versatile that even if, I don't know, Locket is weak, he still has a lot of other options. Probably Trailblazer is going to be decent on him. Really good, actually. It's very good on him, Trailblazer. I would expect him, I would not be surprised if he's like C tier, but I think he's going to be like on the top of S. Blitzcrank, already quite strong, but Legal Blitzcrank is currently, I think this guy is broken mostly because he has a build that not many use. There's even Everfrost Blitzcrank has like his high win rate by far. Yeah, well, this item is going out and there's no other AP item that is going to be as good for him. So he doesn't have this broken secret build. Surely it's going to be worse on him because it's going to be more on the AP and less has no health. I don't think it's going to be good. So you're mostly going to be stuck between Locket and Trailblazer. I think Trailblazer is really good for him. I don't think it's as good as Everfrost, so he'll probably stay like in top of A, might be like low S. Rand. So mage supports are getting a buff. You know, Rand, for example, is not really that good in Halo in general, so not really like a pick that's going to get so much priority or nothing at all. But this patch is a small buff to Brand support. He gonna rush Rallies. I mean, he can and he should right now, but Rallies is not getting changed. Well, every mythic is getting nerfed, so every rush legendary that's not getting changed it's technically buffed. So I think Brand is like probably viable next patch, and we'll go with Low Willow later. Low Willow, different story. Braum. Also, I kind of forgot. Ashe is getting a small buff due to the AD support passive. That's quite good for her. Other champs don't really like benefit or are broken. They like have broken interactions with Annie. Annie is like really good with Enchanter 1, but so are most Enchanters. Rand is good with Mage 1. He might be like one of the best users in Mage 1 too. So yeah, quite buff from Rand. Park can use many of them. Whatever. Braum, quite good right now. He got buffed the last patch, and he's already, I will put him like here. He's of course a counter pick, but he's still like decent overall. As a counter pick, he's like C tier or at top of S, but as a general pick, I think he's probably like somewhere in A tier. Locket is not getting changed that much. It's getting nerfed, yeah, but it's not getting changed that much. I don't know if Knight's Vow is going to be a good rush item. I don't think so. The good thing is the passive, like the Warden passive is going to be really good for aggressive plays. Because you hit your Q and you gain a lot of movement speed and you heal yourself and your ally. You also get the movement speed for your ally, that's actually really important. So if you hit Q, you will run fast as hell toward the enemy. So now you not only you have like one of the best defensive supports, but he's actually good at offense. I think he's probably going to be quite good and quite a good patch for him. Fiddle, one of the more of meta ones, sort of by play rate. This should not be a controversial pick, but I know his. Why is Fiddle in the S tier? So he's already one of the highest win rate supports at any patch. This is counting the average win rate. It's like almost 52%. I was not clicking support. Yeah, almost 52%. Really strong. And he's not like, it's hard due to sample size, but he's not much worse in Halo. He's like almost as viable. But actually one of the reasons he's not as good in Halo is due to the pricing of the items. So rocket belt is 3200, 3200, 300, etc. What's going on? So rocket belt is actually going to be 2500. That's amazing. He can also rush rallies if you want. So he's actually winning a lot of power. You might say, oh, but he's using Sonias. He does not need Sonias. Fiddle is a great user of Sonias. He is not reliant on Sonias. He has other options. I personally think this patch is a huge bar for him, and he's already really strong. I don't think this should not be controversial at all. If you like fiddle support, fucking play it. It's going to be really, really good next patch. Then we have Galio, another of meta supports. Galio has been buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed, and he's currently, again, a really strong support that no one plays for some goddamn reason. And you can say, oh, but his win rate is not as high, like, 51%, and here it's like similar win rate, low sample size, so hard to tell. The thing about Galio is most players are trolling with his build, so they're building Everfrost and maxing Q. That is terrible for support for many reasons, and I will explain it if I make his guide. Here with more games, Eventually is like a crazy item, and this item is lowering his win rate like crazy. So yeah, Everfrost is going out. Of course I'm taking into account, like if I'm taking into account strength, I'm not taking Everfrost into account. I'm only talking about Everfrost. So Everfrost is going away. He's still really, really good with Locket. It's probably going to be his best item. Trip Racer is viable, but not great. The movement speed is nice, but it's just a pure armor item, and Galio does not like that. So I would pick Galio on those games where there is a lot of AP and I can go like Locket, Abyssal Mask, and Galio is a really strong pick. On those games, there are some games where Galio is Z tier, like straight up, but there are some games that he's really bad. He's really good against Engage, most Engage supports. Where are matchups? I'm not finding matchups. Oh, here. So you see, like, he's trashing against Senna, he's not good against Morgana, Zyra, Brand. He's good against Lux, for some reason. He's good mostly against Engage. Naughty, Rakan, Thresh. For some reason, here is mostly due to low sample size. But you get an idea. He's not that good against enchanters like Soraka, like high scanning ones, or high range mages like Xerath. In my opinion, there are some games where Galio is like the best pick, as I said. The support passives, none of them are like amazing on him. I think the is going to be the best. No one's really good with his ult and such. The Warden one is good, but it's not as used for him. Like, there's no way for you to slow the enemy and then go in with W. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Gragas, not an amazing pick right now, but not the worst. He has sort of a similar case from Galio where tank builds are a bit better. This is too low sample size to retail. I can go like 30 days, and you'll see that, like, this is okay. The issue is this is going away. So he's going to stick with either AP items or lockets and such. He's not good with them. Same for runes. Go Aftershock. Don't go Comet. So yeah, not that great. The one thing that's really good for him is the support items, like fusing, sort of, because he's good with both. So now he has like the mana regen and the HP regen. That's good for him. Overall, not a good pick. That's basically what I'm going to say, and I don't think he's the worst ever. In the C tier, he's also a counter pick. So yeah, C tier. Wait, our new champion. It's hard to tell because right now he has like a 45% win rate. I partially think it's because him being like a bit hard to play, especially as a support. Especially as support now, but like he's just like, people don't use his utility right, and support. He's good as a support due to his utility and some others. Like, his damage is okay, especially like the percentage damage on Q. That's really good for a support. But his utility is like really strong, and most people don't know how to use it correctly. I still think that he's a bit weak, and he's probably going to be buffed. I don't think he's a total pick. I think he's viable. And he's probably going to, as I said, he's probably going to be buffed. He's like he's like a C tier in both mid lane and support right now, a bit stronger as an APC. That might be an issue. So yeah, I think right now he's like a C tier, but he might be a bit better, and he's definitely or very likely to get some buffs because he's overall weak, not only as a support. Heimer, so this guy has been nerfed a while ago, and he has never actually been that good in Halo. The fact that he has been playing in pro play does not mean that he's doing Halo. So, like, surprised, a lot of picks in pro play are actually really bad in Halo and are very low Halo. Heimer doesn't seem like the worst pick in any Halo, to be honest. But yeah, in Halo he's really not that good. He's a counter pick, and not like an amazing one. Next batch, the only buff he's getting is like he can, like, again, Rally Rush. It's a bit stronger. He's probably like a low B tier. Those are with Brand. The thing is, like, if you want to play a mage support, there are better options in Halo. I will talk about him later. Probably going to make another video because this is going to be a bit long. Ivern, another pick that actually doesn't get played a lot as support, but I have played him, and his winner is like not bad. It's like sort of 50%. He was nerfed a bunch of course, low sample size and whatnot. The item changes are kind of whatever. Like the item changes don't really change him that much, but I don't think he's like amazing. I'll put him in lobby. Might be a bit weaker, might be a bit higher. I think overall not the best pick. Another probably a bit controversial pick, but Maokai is probably going to be ironically the best engage support. Why? So his winner is like fine. Fine. His winner is mostly the same. Like it's not low elo skewed or anything. Like it's mostly the same in all elos. Like 52.5. 52.5 is crazy to begin with. His winner is crazy high. Now, right now, the best item in theory is Dead One Blaze. The difference in gold, whatnot, might influence, like, change a bit the win rates. So they're mostly the same. The win rate is gone, but he's actually getting like a Deadman's plate, but for support. That means he gets Deadman, but cheaper and better, just straight up better. So he's basically going to be buffed quite a lot. At the same time, the like movement speed trail, I'll talk about it on my later video, leaves the trail for his hour engages, so your team can follow it up better. The AP build is dead, don't even use it, just don't. It has been dead for like years, but some people will probably try it. Don't. C tier. I don't know, he'll probably be nerfed. He's probably going to be nerfed. So yeah. Janna is also quite strong right now. She is losing, I think Crown is removed. So yeah, her best item is actually Mandate, it's not Crown. This is, you can say, low sample size. It's gonna be the same for every patch. It has been like 57% most cases. Remember, like, the lower pick the item is, it's more likely to be about picked by mains and whatnot, but 57 is still really crazy. I don't know how good is Janna with the new Mandate compared to this one, because she's really good with current Mandate due to her low cooldown on W mostly. So she might not be as good with, but remember, this item is a legendary, so it's not getting nerfed. It's not losing like the mythic passive. It doesn't have one. It also has 5 more AP and more mana regen. Janna scales a bit with AP, not that much, but she scales with AP. The AP matters. I personally think she's also C tier. Nothing else is really changing for her. The items she can use, the Warden one is probably going to be better. So, especially with like the Hail of Blade builds, you can actually W someone and auto attack him 3 times with the extra movement speed. I don't know if it lasts that much, I don't remember. I think it's 2.5 seconds. Regardless, that's really strong, and the Enchanter one is probably going to be good if you have a hyper carry and you want them to carry. I personally think she's going to be quite crazy with both support passives. She's going to be crazy, even better than Maokai, in my opinion. Don't sleep on Janna, just don't. Now we have Jarvan. Hard to tell, to be honest. He's not good right now. He has been better. He has been a decent support at times. he's not one right now. He will build, like, Radiant is getting removed. He's not going to be able to build Sonias, because Sonia is getting its price increased. Umbral Glaive is kind of buffed, and like AD supports are getting sort of buffed. But overall, I don't see him being good. C tier, like low C tier, he's like grass. Like there are some off meta picks that are just bad. Like picks that are not played that much, they're just bad. There are that are not. Like Fiddle and Galio should be played much more. To be honest, yeah, to be fair, Galio has been picked a lot as a support in the past. He was nerfed once, once. He was nerfed like sometimes and he was trash. But he got buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. Especially for support. Except the last buff. The last buff was purely for mid lane. But he's a really strong support right now. Karma is one of the harder ones to tell. So the issue with Karma is, for some reason, I think she's the highest user of this garbage. This garbage lowers her win rate a lot. If you see a difference with Mandate, yeah. So she's currently like a 48% win rate, 48.5. Not real. She's actually much better. It's Purifier's fault. Morelos is better than her. Like the new Morelos is going to be better because it has a lot more AP, and the heal and shield power matters, but not that much for Karma specifically. I think currently she's like a low A. She's going to be, I'll put it in high A. I think she's going to be quite strong if you're good with Karma. Night Harvest isn't getting removed. It's actually a decent item of her. I don't think it's best. Like, if you look at this, you should care when this item is built. So, overall, both of them seem fine. Remember, since it's 1,000 more expensive and it's built less, this win rate is inflated. So yeah, I think Karma is quite good. She might not want to rush Shurelias. She's going to, if I can speak, she's probably going to want to rush Mandate, the new Mandate. And as I said, if the item is bad, sorry, I cannot predict that. In my opinion, like I'm saying, like Mandate in theory should be buffed. So if in theory she should be buffed, Karma is buffed. That's what I'm telling, basically. So if I think Karma was a low A, it's going to be high A. Leona. Leona is a really strong engaged support right now, especially in low elo. She's not as good in Halo, but she's still viable. She's still like a low A. The item changes are kind of okay for her. So she doesn't need more tankiness. So the extra resistance is like probably going to be the better one, but it's not something she cares about. Actually, she's probably going to be really good with Battle Song. I don't know how high her base AD is. I can look it up here. There is a very high chance that she has like really good base AD. So she's on the higher end, I think. Yeah, she's on the higher end of base AD. At 18, I think she's not as high, but it doesn't matter. Like, she has good base AD. That item is actually like 12% when you hit your Q. 12% more damage means it's basically like a pressy attack, but for free for Leona. I don't know how good pressy attack is currently on Leona. Like, if I'm like, if I can press, sorry. So pressy attack is not bad on Leona. No one uses it, but like, this is an okay win rate. Battle Song is basically Blood Song, Battle Song. I don't remember what's the name. It's basically like pressy attack, but with one ability. Like you E basic, like the Q basic attack, you apply it. It's like 12% more damage. I just think she's going to be like high. Use that one. Don't use the engage support one, use the AD one. It's actually going to be much better for Leona, not a joke. Lissandra, she's using her shot. I don't think there's anything that gets close to it for her. I don't think she wants to rush Mandate. She can't build Sonias now. So yeah, hard to tell. Radiant is also going away. She's not going to be that good. She's losing the best items she had as support, which are Sonia's and Immortal. Look, Sonia's not getting removed, it's getting its price heavily increased. So it's like Sonia's is 2700, 27 and 50. If you have like the stopwatch. Stopwatch is no longer a rune, so the item should be 300. Yeah, it's getting even more expensive. It's actually 3250. Do not build Sonia's supports. It's going to be harder than Morgana. I know, we'll talk about that later. Just don't. It's not going to be good. you're hindering yourself by doing that, especially in Halo. In low elo, it's still not going to. It's actually as bad because in low elo people don't know how to use Sonias. So I'm just saying, do not build Sonias on support. I think she's going to be like a C tier. Lulu, she's not that good right now. She actually, I think, has the issue of the Putrefier. She might not. She had, at least. So Lulu has the same winner as Karma right now, but does not have the Putrefier issue. No one is winning Putrefier on her. Second, Jessica has like people winning her Moonstone and people are still going to build Moonstone. So yeah, this win rate is actually more, like, shows more her actual win rate. Her next patch changes. The only thing is like she can rush Ardent. She probably already can rush Ardent. Yeah, she is actually like almost as good as Aurelia's. I'll put her in lobby. She's probably very reliable. Maybe not. Not the greatest enchanter. There's now, unless Ardent for some reason is like heavily overtuned, I don't see her being that amazing. Lux, hard to tell. She's very reliant on Mandate in Halo, even though no one fucking builds it. Mandate is like her strongest item by far. She's getting some better options for support, like Mage support have now like more cheap Morello. Horizon Focus is cheaper. And yeah, overall, a big buff for Mage supports. Now, unlike the passive, she can use two of the passives really well. She can use the she can use the Mage one really well. She can use the Enchanter one decently, especially if you max W second, if you need it. And the Warden one, probably not bad. So yeah, this patch is like a Mandate in theory should be buffed, so Lux should be buffed. Mage supports are getting buffed, mostly. They're losing AP on the starter item, so you know, I'm not sure. I'll put her in the middle of A. She might be a bit weaker, she might be a bit worse. Milio though, Milio is one of the ones I'm more sure that he's going to be crazy. So Staff Rush on Milio should in theory be quite good, because he can apply like 10% movement speed on an AoE for like 10 seconds. That's crazy. The AoE is not as big, I know, but he can still use it with E and etc. and with R. S tier. I don't think he's probably going to be one of the best enchanters overall. Oh boy, Morgana. So again, no Sonias. Do not. What does she have? She has Rallies and Mandate. Mandate is better on her because it's less about the spam, as I said, with Ashe, and it's more about hitting the one skill shot and bursting the enemy. Morgana does. Like, Morgana hits her Q to enemies usually at full HP, or sometimes, you know, like, usually high HP. That's good, so Mandate in theory should be much better on Morgana. And she still has Rallies. If you, like, at some point she's still going to spam it, but she can rush Mandate and then go for Rallies, or vice versa. She can also use Shurelias now, since it's not going to be balanced around the passive, but Morgana overall is not that good in Halo. Right now she's like a low B. I think next patch is like a small bump in power. I think she'll be like low B, might be at the top of B at best. Now, one of the champions I'm actually quite excited for, Pantheon. This guy should be actually good next patch. So lethality is getting buffed. Let's talk about right now, because some people think he's still like a 46% win support. He's not. He's a 48% win support. That's okay. It's kind of weak. This is okay. Like, Umbral Rush, it's a viable champion overall. I'm looking at all Lilos due to like sample size and whatnot, but it's almost the same in Halo. Lethality is much better for supports, and Umbral is basically unchanged, and it's a legendary, so it's in theory buffed. Supports are getting more gold. Pantheon is quite gold reliant to still one-shot the enemy. The new AD support passive is he's one of the best users, besides Leona. I think Leona and Pantheon are both the top users, but he's coming from an 48% win rate. If he was 50, yeah, he'd probably go like 2S. He's a 48, so I will put him at the top of E. He might be a like here. I might also be fucking wrong, but I think he should be good. Black Cleaver is getting nerfed. True, he doesn't really care about it as much. He can build other second items. The first item that matters is Umbral. Umbral is what matters. Like, this matters, not as much. Especially, as I said, in Halo, it's probably like, that item is probably, yeah, 20%. So he builds his second item 40-something% of the time. Okay, that's fine. He still has other options. So yeah, I think he's good. Pyke is one of those who doesn't really have a passive that's amazing on him. So Blood Letter or Blood Song, I don't remember the name. I think it's Blood Song, right? I think it's Blood Song. Blood Song, it's okay, but in late game especially, he's not going to be able to use it that much. I actually think the Engage support one is going to be the best for him. It's like an anti-burst 40%. Yeah, that one is actually really good. From the items, Lethality is buffed, really good for him. He has some other lethality options that are really good. He's using Yomus as like a legendary. It's actually fucking crazy. You're like trolling with Pyke if you're going Draktar right now, and a lot of people do. Why are you going Draktar? He has like 5% here and 4% here as second item. Do not. He's not losing Draktar. He's actually losing Yomus as a mythic. Yomus still exists, but it's going to be much worse. It's probably his best second item still. So yeah, personal opinion, Pyke is buff, but not as much as maybe other AD supports. Top of A, as I said, go the support engage one. Nami, haven't thought about Nami that much. I think she's worse with the new mandate, but it's not that much worse. Like it's probably like as good since it's not longer like, again, she rushes a legendary. In theory, that's a buff for her. Now mandate is worse on her on paper, so I think she's neutral in that regard. Map changes. I haven't talked about map changes. I don't think map changes much about which supports are good or not. I think it changes more about ADCs. I think mobile ADCs are going to be better. In theory, that will follow also for supports, but especially Halo supports mission positioning is not as common. I'm not sure. Like maybe, I don't know, Milio is a bit worse, but I still think the other stuff is much better. I don't know, I'm like thinking which support here might be worse due to the map changes. I talk about Var at the start, but I think the top lane compensates. Nami might be worse due to map changes, but I still think she's going to be good. I think she's like here. I will order it, sort of, but if you hear me like low A, top A is like what matters. It's mostly like where are they, more or less. I think she's like bottom of A. He's at the top. Yeah, maybe then I put him here. He's still like at the top of it. So yeah, Rakan, he's currently one of the best supports in the game. He's losing Shurelias. I don't think it's going to be that good on him. Now he has Trade Bracer. Is there any other like HP AP item that he likes? Not really. He may go Moonstone. I think he's actually losing a bunch. Maybe like the Engage support one plus Shurelias is really strong. He's using also Radiant. Right now he's inviolable with Blockade, so I would say he's still like really good. I don't think he's right now. He probably like C. He's probably doing S. I think the changes are small enough for him. Naughty is a hard one to tell really. So Naughty is right now not as good as his pick rate may suggest. So he's like a 49% winner. It's true that he's probably the most, hey, you don't know how to play support, go Naughty. He's like slightly above 49%. Yeah, that's like fine. This Naughty is strong. Or like okay, like A tier, I would say. He's Trade Bracer, but losing Even Shroud, a good thing for him. Oh, he's actually building. Okay, so he's actually losing Radiant, but I think Even Shroud is still like, it would be a good option. So he's losing these two things. Still has Locket. Trade Bracer, I think, should be decent on him. It might not be that good. Naughty is one of the champions that like he cares about movement speed, of course. I don't think he cares as much as others. Leona cares more about movement speed than because Naughty Engage has a lot more range. Maybe to like catch someone with VR. Then maybe you want to get close to a Seri and like yeah, the movement speed matters a lot. So in some cases, Trade Bracer is probably going to be still decent on him. I just don't think he's going to be as good as the thing he's losing now. So he's sort of staying here. He might be a bit weaker. You have Nico. Nico probably quite strong. She's already good. And as I said, Rocket Belt much cheaper. She can be Shurelias because it's no longer balanced on the passive. The Engage support passive is really good on her because that means you can go riskier R engages and not die instantly. She's already like, I would say an A tier support. She's probably low S. Really good, my opinion. Orianna, we go back to the off meta. Orianna was a viable support before she got some nerfs. She has now lost a lot of power, and I don't think this patch really helps her that much. Yeah, she's probably staying in C. Not a great of match. If it was pre-nerfs, she'll probably like here. But the nerfs were really harsh on her as a support specifically. Well, one of the biggest engaged supports right now. Again, she's losing Radiant, she's losing Inertial. New Seek is really good on her though. I'm not sure it's going to be as good as Trailblazer. She also likes Trailblazer a lot. So I mean, Rell might perfectly well be hella strong, but I don't think she's going to be like C tier. I think she's going to stay in S. She's an S tier support. Poppy, one of the most underrated, underplayed also supports. She's actually really high win rate. She has been for ages, since the last time she was buffed. And Trailblazer is basically, she has the same case of Mao where she now gets a cheap support Deadmans. I think she's currently like A tier. She's probably one of the best anti-engage supports, probably the best anti-engage support, but she's worse than Braum as a general pick. Not as a general pick, like, it's hard to say it. So if the enemy is not engaging on you, Braum is still a bit better, because he has his C, and he can engage with her, sort of. Poppy does not have that. She's an exclusively anti-engage champion. She's the best anti-engage support in the game, in my opinion. So now, so I think the changes overall above for her, item changes, and support passives are fine. Like the Enchanter one is fine on her, probably not like crazy. I'm also not taking that much into account the loss of CDR, because supports are not losing that much CDR, but that's actually might affect some characters like Sona. I don't know if she loses that much CDR on her full build. I think she loses a bit, but not that much. Now, this is one of the few that I think the map changes affect her a bit. It's one of those that actually do. I think she's still sort of viable in high elo. And low elo I will talk about later. She also supports anymore gold, so nice, quite gold reliant. I think she's probably getting quite benefited from that. Soraka, hard to tell. No, actually no. She is the best user of Moonstone, and Moonstone is getting buffed. Is getting sort of buffed before she has another item. And then it is nerfed, but for example, Shurelia's is heavily nerfed, and she can also still like rush Redemption. Helia is also getting quite a big nerf. So and Moonstone is not getting nerfed. It's getting buffed, sort of. She's already okay strong. I think she's going to be even stronger. She's gold reliant. She's sort of like 2-item reliant. Moonstone Redemption is her core and the only thing she needs. But until she gets that, she's kind of weak. She's not weak, but you know, the 2-item spike is really strong. Actually, like just Moonstone is a really big spike for her. The map changes affect her a bit, but I don't think that much. I think she's probably C tier or maybe low, high S if I found someone else that might be higher. Now we have Shen. So the thing about Shen is he's quite, again, another like underplayed anti-engage support. So right now by win rate he's fine. Now the issue is he's actually not good with Lockets, he's with Heartsteel and Iceborne. In high-elo his win rate goes a bit lower, it's hard to tell here. But yeah, this is like his win rate in high-elo is a lot lower as support. So it's the same win rate here, but with the average lowering. I don't think he really gets anything from the patch. He also doesn't lose anything. So I will put him in lows, in high S, high C. Senna is getting the buffs from like all the AD supports that I think are huge. So in theory she's buffed, but she's also in Yomus, which is by far her best item. She doesn't have anything that gets even close to Yomus, and I don't think there is anything that is as close as Yomus next patch. Black Cleaver is also getting nerfed. She's a decent user of Black Cleaver. The map changes actually do affect her. She's quite easy to gank. So I don't think it's, despite like it is worth getting quite a huge buff, I don't think specifically Senna is going to be like that amazing. I think right now she's like low S. I'll put her in the middle of A. Surfing, this is going to be a bit controversial. So I mean Surfing win rate is in theory. So I have like a 60% win rate on Surfing in low Grandmaster. Like I go to Grandmaster with a 60% win rate of Surfing. He will look at this and say, oh, Surfing is bad. Yeah, the issue is these 2 items suck on her. This one doesn't have much, I'll speak out later. So you'll see like Moonstone and Shurelia's have a good win rate with her. Specifically Shurelia's. She then has this big issue. for fuck's sake, max W on Seraphine. You may go 2-3 points on Q on maxing W, but you need W maxed at level 9 or 10. It's a over 2% win rate difference. And when you go to like enchanted items, it gets even higher. Of course, only mains quote unquote max W. You see the difference. This is huge. Like for anything you want, max W. She's really strong if you max W because she is a mage, but she's much stronger as an enchanter as a support because her W is overtuned as fuck. A 16 seconds 150 shield with the ratios and whatnot that can be casted twice, plus 5% missing health healing for each ally without taking into account the hidden she power is insane. Staff of the Flowing Waters next patch is even better than Shurelia's currently, because Shurelia's you can only proc it once. I'm not counting the active, I'm counting mostly the passive. So the passive is 20% for 1.5 seconds. Staff is 10% for 4 seconds, but it can be reactivated whenever you want. So Seraphine casts this W, and then the healing goes like 3 seconds after, and you have 4 seconds of Staff of Flowing Waters. So in total you have 7 seconds of 10% movement speed and the 30 AP for everyone. Of course you don't have the active, and it has 5 less haste. So it's not like she's not going to be like the best support in the game. But I think it's not hard to think when you look at that Seraphine is an 8-tier support. Do not sleep on Seraphine. She might be S. Lux is one of the ones I want to lower. She might very well be S. We'll see. Also, Moonstone is actually bugged right now, and it's still bugged on PvE. I told the Rioter, I don't know if it's going to ever get fixed. The second W is actually not working. Like, when you double cast your W, the second W does not get affected by Moonstone. The healing does, and the first shield does. The second doesn't. So she's actually losing some power by building Moonstone. If it wasn't bugged, it would be as good as Shurelia's. But I think Staff is better than both. Season 14 Staff is better than both. And Moonstone is probably her best second item. Shaco is not that good in Halo. I have to start with that. Shaco is really strong with Mandate. He's not the one in Halo as a support. Have to be more specific. So in low elo, he's a decent support. In Halo, a bit worse. Not trash or anything, but he's not good. He's like fine. His win rate is lowered a lot by lethality. I think Mandate is going to... Okay, this one's actually a bit hard. So the thing about Mandate is, I think it's the best item now, but it probably synergizes better with current Mandate than Season 14 Mandate. But it's still good. Don't get me wrong. So not losing that much from the items. The passives. The mage one is probably the best one. I could see him being okay with AD1. I don't know how. Well, maybe lethality is so overtuned that lethality support Shaco is good. Might not be. Might be. I don't know. I think he goes there with most of these like mage supports. Swain is trash in Halo as a support because he is dodgeable as fuck if you have hands. So his win rate is one of those that go really low. This is like no play rate, so 50% in all ranks, and this is like what? It's already lower than 49 with the average. So he's already not good, but he can now rush rallies. Again, he already does. Rush rallies is not losing any power, while every other rush item mythic is getting nerfed. So he's getting that. Support passives are kind of whatever for him. The movement speed one is kind of decent, because you can get closer for your Q faster. But overall, no, probably still not great. And what I mean Halo is like sort of master diamonds and above. So yeah, his win rate goes really low in high Halo, and I think it will stay low, basically. Tam is kind of okay as a Warden. The Warden's support passive is actually quite good for him. Same as Braum, he can hit Q and go in. He already can do that with W, but sometimes it's risky to do and whatnot. He can also hit someone with Q, R an ally and run away, or hit an ally, hit Q and run away. So he's even faster doing that. He's better at saving people with her. And it also gives him a better use of Locket, sort of, not really. Because right now Locket is, Locket not Guardian. So the issue with Guardian and Tam right now is he cannot proc it besides being next to your ADC. He cannot do it with the Q heal, but yeah, most of the time you're going to hit the Q heal before it deals damage. someone deals damage to their ally, sometimes not. Hard to tell. Probably sort of here. Talia. We go back to those underrated supports, but she's actually not an anti-engage. She's just a mage, and this mage is not being played as a support, and she should. 52% win rate. It does not go down with it though. Hard to tell, but trust me, with those sample sizes, it's kind of hard to tell, but it's like 52% even in Emerald Plus, and it stays this way. Of course, super low peak rate, some good amount of those are OTP, some other. The thing is, she can rush allies, and she can rush Mandate. I think Mandate is a bit worse on her than right now, or maybe it's like similar. It might be similar, so it's similar, but it has more AP and whatnot, and the Mythic, blah blah. Talia is strong, basically. She's really good right now, and next patch she's even better. The support item passives, I don't think she uses the mage one. Use the mage one, basically. I don't think any of the others is that amazing on her. The Warden one can be okay if you like build around peeling your ally. I don't know what that build would look like, but you sort of can if you want. So I think currently she's like an high A. I'm going to put her in lowest. I think she's probably the best mage support with Nico and Phil. Taric. So Taric is kind of the same. Nothing really changes for him. He can use the Warden and the Enchanter support item. Probably Enchanter is better. Might not be. Still has the same items. I don't think there's anything actually changing that like at all. And he's already like good. He's already like at the top of A. I'm going to keep him there. Yeah, I think it's really good. It's just nothing interesting for him. He doesn't have any weird synergy that I can think of. Thresh. So Trailblazer is okay on him. He can use Redemption if Locket for some reason is worse. Very versatile. Even if like engage is weak, he can go with the more Warden one. He's already like a really strong support, and I think he still will be. I don't think he changes that much his placement. Renata is... first of all, she's losing... So, Renata is losing Radiant Virtue. She's a really good user of Radiant Virtue. I cannot speak. She can still rush Redemption though. Redemption rush with Renata is probably good. It might not be. For AP items, Mandate is probably fine. Not much else. She's not that good with Enchanter items as a whole due to how unreliable her is. The best support item at the passive is probably going to be the Warden one. She's quite good right now. She's still going to be good. But she might be a bit weaker. She might be weak. Weak no, like not that great. Syra can now rush allies in theory. She's also a good rush Mandate user. Syra in general is not that good in Halo. Not as good as Slow Willow, but she's still viable, she's playable, and she's probably will still be. So I think she's high B tier. Cillian though, the only thing that I can think might be a bit worse on him is the thing about Shurelias is the only Enchanter item that works on empowering. The rest do not. He's still probably a good user of rushing Shurelias. With Aerie, he might still be good with stuff. He can also might go Mandate or other cheap mage items. I think Cillian is not changing that much, and he's still very strong. From the passives, I actually don't know if it works on empowering. That actually might be important. If it doesn't, it's probably still fine with Harry, but you know, it would probably be a bit more consistent if it did. He can still use like the Warden one and the Mage one. He's not losing in options. High A, I think. Sort of high A. No, it has Zac. Not an amazing Halo to support. It's very easy to predict his engage as a support in Halo. It's very not consistent. And he's using Radiant and Image Rod. He doesn't fucking care about Trailblazer at all. He's not a good user of Trailblazer. He's basically stuck with the Locket, which is not good. Or they have a lot of AP. He can go Abyssal Mask. But as you see, like his win rate already goes down to like 51% in Emerald Plus, and in Diamond it goes lower and lower. I think it's not that good. It might be even worse. Yumi's trash, but I don't think that's changing next patch. Yeah. She's like here. She might be even weaker due to the map changes and whatnot. Nothing really that says, hey, I'm going to be amazing. New Mondays is probably decent on her though. More AP, better for like burst. Yeah, that's not moving her. I don't think so. Seraph though, mage support, as I said, get a small buff overall. But Seraph is not that great in Halo, especially as a support. No, actually, I think he loses the same win rate in Halo in both mid lane and support. So yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of the same. Like 5% difference, 5% difference. So yeah, he's a bit low elo skill, but he's still like viable. And mid support is getting a buff, bottom of A. I think he's still viable, just not amazing. Vel'Koz though, Vel'Koz doesn't lose that much win rate with Elo, and he's getting quite a buff, especially for Halo, because now he's going to be faster at closer ranges. Mostly in Halo, very easy to dodge his E. Not gonna be so much now. And he's already like strong, and he's getting the mage buffs. Regarding the passives, probably better to use just the... he's a good user of Mandate, not the best, but a good user of Mandate. Because his Q can proc it from Narnia, but that doesn't matter because your ally is never proccing it from Narnia on those like poke battles. Unless you have a poke EDC. But Horizon Focus is really good on him. He can use the new Morello. He can use whatever he wants. The top of it. He might be like lowest, but at the top of it he's fine. Sylas. Sylas was actually really good strong support, but he got nerfed. Not Sylas support. Sylas in general got nerfed. Same case of Soriana. Still pretty much viable-ish. He seems to be quite strong in low elo, not so much in high elo. So yeah, I will take almost exclusively win rate into account. I don't think the changes are changing that much for him. Bottom of E. He might be a really good counter pick to like, I don't know, Seraphine, Amumu. Where's Amumu? Maokai. I don't know. No one's Nico. But besides that, not amazing. Twitch, I'm not sure. He has Bloodsong. Bloodsong is strong on him. Natural Tooth is not getting changed that much. He's just getting like 10 less AP, I think. That's just it. And again, more gold for supports, more options. I think he can, in theory, he shouldn't be like the worst Mandate user. Probably not the best. He still probably wants to go like Nashor's into Rabadon, something like that. Roaming as a whole is a bit worse. The thing about Twitch is he does it invisible, so like doesn't change much unless it's like being warded and whatnot. He is probably decent, so yeah, top of it. So there we go. This is the full tier list. Quite some time. I hope I explained everything decently. I could go even further to explain why someone is weak or someone not. Mostly focus on current state and if he's getting buffed or nerfed due to what and whatnot. I might not be calculating everything perfectly. Maybe like some stuff matters more than other stuff. That can happen. I don't know. Maybe Pyke is actually Z tier, because lethality early is so broken and whatnot. And maybe, I don't know, Nami's trash with the new Mandate. I don't know. Next video is going to be like the low elo version. I'm going to do some guides for most champions, more support next week. Should be next week, sort of, for the start of the season. So watch them. I will start with Lux, and then go with other popular supports, then I'll go with more of my picks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.